Good afternoon, Anarchy Land. This is Tracy. Oh my god, we are back to spring like weather. And it's just insane. We're going to chat right quick about things that are happening. And to be honest, by the time you see this, probably some of the information will be outdated. I don't know. Things are unwinding that fast. First of all, the Save Ukraine from Russia narrative is falling apart. It's like a glass vase that's been dropped on the floor and just shattered to a billion pieces. There's been these secret biolabs that were found last week. Victoria Nuland testified about them, and Senator Marco Rubio literally led her into saying that there was a possibility that Russia could use them. No, that's not going to happen. Now, I'm not saying that Russia won't use them in the future. I'm just saying right here, right now, it wouldn't make sense for him to use them. However, they do have proof that Ukraine was planning on using them on Russian citizens. Now, why? There's a fellow named Igor Kolomoisky. That's an important name to ingrain and literally sear into your brain. Igor, Igor Kolomoisky, Kolomoysky. Why is he important? Because he served as a governor at one time. He didn't get much higher. Probably a good thing. But he got his billions the old-fashioned way. Steal it. After his failed term as governor, he started the 1+1 Media company that had a special show called Servant of the People, which was the name of a political party that Kolomoisky started as well. Zelensky was placed in the lead role by Kolomoisky. Now, Kolomoisky's name, like I said, is very important to remember because he's the person who's paid Hunter Biden $50,000 during the time that Hunter Biden was in Ukraine, supposedly working in a field that he knew nothing about. $50,000. Do you know what the average median income for an American family is? Probably that a year. For a Ukrainian family now, that would be 2 years' salary. That is how badly these people have been screwed over and robbed by people like this Kolomoisky. This man has an absolute hate for Russia. I mean, just absolute hate for him. And he is unleashing it with his Nazi brigade. And yes, there are going to be articles from people who have been victims of these Nazi lunatics. Now, let's move on to Zelensky begging. I mean, literally, y'all, begging for help. So he provoked Russia. And now, he's being offered Soviet-era missiles and other artillery and planes from the Soviet era. That should tell you something right there. That should be a huge, huge red light right there. But he goes from insulting NATO, calling it weak, a weak, pathetic shadow of his former self, which I agree with him on that one, to begging them for help. He's going to try and beg Congress for a no-fly zone, which they're not going to do. They're not going to do it. There's no way they're going to lock horns with Russia, not over Ukraine. Just like we're not going to lock horns with China over Taiwan. It's not going to happen. Now, what could start up a major uproar is the fact that Saudi is not taking calls from Biden, and they're working out a deal with China. We're trying to buy oil in the yuan, and India is going to strike a deal with Russia to get oil at a discount. So, and yes, the U.S. government is looking to block that deal. Well, here's the deal. Here's the thing. India is not part of NATO. Their revenue is their business. If they want to buy cheap oil from Russia, then by damn, that's their prerogative. Now, speaking of sanctions, we're going to end this on a very high silver lining to this dark cloud. Russia has he fact-checked the NATO guy, Belarus. It doesn't even matter what the guy's name. I'll leave the article. But you know how we're always fact-checking? Like Sputnik, which most of the articles are from that or RT, because I find to be a higher integrity and quality of honesty than what our media has. But Russia has, let me see if I can find that article. The title of it is, they did a fact check, yes, on an op-ed EU's bureau. In other words, this character from from NATO, EU, was spouting out garbage, and Russia's finally had enough to, we're gonna fact check you, asshole. And they did. There you go. It's done. So, we have quite a bit to look at. We have Russia putting in sanctions. Yes, this was the biggest part. Russia is